Hello, it's October. Welcome to Paris. It is time for the Qatar Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. Katherine Ford, as every year, is with me to preview the race. This year, no standout horse. It's a wide-open, competitive race, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. You can make a case for many of these horses. There are 9 individual Group 1 winners in the field, 5 different countries represented, of course, with France, Britain, Ireland, Japan, and also Germany. So can't wait to get underway.
So let's have a look at the 16 of them which are going to line up on Sunday afternoon in Paris. They're headed by Zarakem, got a very good second over 2,000 metres in the summer to his name. He also comes, as well as being number 1, from stall number 1. Fantastic Moon was 11th in the race last year. He would need the ground to dry. Savannah's Night number 5, stall number 12 for this. All the wins 2,800 metres or further. There's last year's 5th there, Continuous. Over the page we'll get to the market leaders, Luc de Vega and Sozy and Delius, the 3-year-old colts, and 2 3-year-old fillies at the bottom. Servi, who was runner-up in a classic, the French Oaks, in the summer, and Aventure right at the bottom, number 16. That's the 3-year-old colts, but let's begin with the 3-year-old colts. So it does look as if this year's renewal is going to be dominated by 3-year-old colts, and one of them is a horse who was favourite for a long time, spent 2 weeks not as favourite, but is now back as market leader. This is Luc de Vega. He is the winner of the French Derby, the Prix de Jockey Club, which we're going to see now run, Catherine, very testing ground, but over shorter, 2,100 metres. Yeah, 10.5 furlongs for the French Derby, and here is Luc de Vega maintaining his unbeaten record at the time. He's wearing different colours on Sunday than he was there, in the orange colours and the red and the green cap for father and son training combination. Carlos and Jan Lerner under Ronan Thomas. You can see Sozy in there with the Wertheimer colours in third, but he was straight away shot up to favouritism for the Arc after that win. He looked like he was something really, really special, but his run in the Prix Niel did give us a few doubts, but one of our Equidia teams went and met up with the Lerners and jockey Ronan Thomas at Maison Lafitte earlier this week to talk about the Niel and see how the horse has come out of it.
Le cheval a très bien pris sa course. On a vu déjà que physiquement il était très bien monté sur cette course de rentrée. Le travail de la semaine dernière était vraiment parfait, et le travail de ce matin encore nous donne pleine satisfaction. Donc le cheval arrive pour moi dans des très bonnes conditions pour dimanche.
Vous avez vu la pointe des oreilles, il a tout relâché direct.
On a fait 1800 mètres avec 2 leaders de qualité. On a été vraiment dans un bon train. J'ai pu le décaler. Il a très bien fondu sur ses leaders.
Ouais. T'as bien descendu?
Ronan Thomas, the rider, telling us about Luc de Vega's work during the week, which has shot him now to the head of the betting market. But as we've told you, he has recently got beaten by a horse called Sozy, who we're going to look at next. André Fabre has trained the Arc winner 8 times. Sozy comes into it as a real chance, having won this race, the Prix Niel. Luc de Vega's won from the left, extreme right there as well as Delius. So the real big 3, Catherine, all met last time out. Yeah, the traditional Arc trial. Back in the day, we haven't seen a Niel winner go on to win the Arc since a Rail Link. Quite a long time ago now, so Sozy will be trying to buck that trend. And he absolutely loves the 2,400 metres here at Paris-Longchamp, because he'd also won the Grand Prix de Paris, the Grade 1 on Bastille Day in the summer on this same track for trainer André Fabre, champion trainer André Fabre, and champion jockey Maxime Guyon, who spoke to us earlier in the week also about the horse's character and his aptitudes.
What I like is that he always has something in reserve. He will never win by 6 lengths. Whenever I take the lead in a race, he does all I ask, but he has never had to give everything. We know André Fabre's horses, they always have something in reserve, and when they come under attack, his horses can always find more. So I hope that will happen on Sunday.
Sozy and Maxime Guillaume then, one of the market leaders for the race. Now, over many years, the Japanese have been trying to train the winner of this race, and they have come on occasions agonisingly close to doing so, but haven't quite managed to do so yet. This year, they've got a real chance. His name is Shin Emperor, and Catherine, he has been out in Europe already, and this is a very good race, the Irish Champion Stakes, and a very good run from this horse.
An absolutely excellent run. He was making his return to action. He hadn't been seen since finishing third in the Japanese Derby when there was no pace. He's there, the chestnut with the white face. He looks like he's going to finish maybe fifth or sixth, but look at this turn of foot, and he really comes back nicely towards the end of it, towards the end of the race, so looking as though his preparation is really going to peak for the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. He shouldn't have any ground concerns. He's the full brother to Sotsas, who won the Arc on testing ground in the past. He was bought for 2.1 million euros here in France. He's French-bred and trained by Yoshito Yahagi, who has been a groundbreaking trainer on the international scene for the Japanese, winning in Hong Kong, Australia, the Breeders' Cup. So the Arc is top of his list of targets. Now, will he be able to do it? He looks like he's got a very good chance.
Good, very, very solid performer by the looks of things. Also in that race was Los Angeles. We'll have a look at him winning over the distance of the Arc, 2,400 metres at the Curragh in the the summer, in the Irish Derby. A very solid performer, this. He ran only third at Epsom in the Derby. He got very warm and upset that day. Yeah,
absolutely. Beaten by the champion city of Troy in the Derby. He is an absolute pure stayer, and Aidan O'Brien has said that it was this performance in the Irish Derby which made him think that he would probably be his team leader for the Arc. He's won again over the mile and a half at York, and we saw that performance in the Irish Champion Stakes, going in fourth over a distance which is too short for him. I think he has an awful lot in his favour. You know, he's a really solid horse that we can depend upon.
And you saw as well in that race there, the second place being Sunway, who's a very big price, but a horse who keeps running well at big prices in very good races. If you are the sort of person who likes a big price one, he could well be your horse. Those are the 3-year-old coats. Let's look now at the older males lining up in the Arc. Al Riffa is the horse we're going to start with here. Very good second place for him in the Eclipse Stakes over Shorter in the summer. Stepped up to the 2,400 metres last time out, and this, in Germany, was a very easy success.
Yeah, this is the Große Preis von Berlin. It is a Group 1, but the competition he beats aren't anywhere near the calibre of the horses he's going to be meeting at Paris-Longchamp on Sunday. But what it did do was prove that the 2,400 metres is absolutely no problem for him. And this race has thrown up Arc winners in the past. This is a race that's been won by Alpinista, Toketo Tasso and also Daydream in the past. And this was always the plan. Joseph O'Brien has really set his stall out with Al Riffa to aim for the Arc, and you know, he hasn't deviated from his plan. So a horse that I really do like, Yutaka Take, taking the ride to add another international dimension to this candidate, following his purchase in part by Mr. Matsushima, who's a great friend of Yutaka Take. So the Japanese will be celebrating if he were to run well.
Having two goes at the same race. We're going to have a look now at a horse, a 5-year-old called Hayazark, in winning action in the Prix Gannett, which is a very big race here in France at the end of April. Shorter trip, 2,100 metres. Quite a few, actually, that we're going to see on Sunday. Zarakem, Fantastic Moon, Al Riffa are all in this, behind Hayazark.
Yeah, it was quite close at the finish. Al Riffa notes he hadn't been on the track for 8 months, so don't take too much of the actual form line of this. But Hayazark, a horse that loves cutting the ground, he's also been laid out for the Arc. He'll be ridden by William Buick for the first time on Sunday. Soumillon was on board last time, but he will be riding continuous for Aidan O'Brien. But a horse, I think, you mentioned Sunway for people who like a big price. I think that if you like a big price, Hayazark could be a really interesting one. He's available at about 40-50 to 1, and he knows Longchamp, he likes the ground. Could be interesting.
OK, that's the older males. That's enough of those. Let's go to the females now and look at the fillies in the lineup. Supplemented for a cost of €120,000 is Blue Stocking from Rafe Beckett's stable in the UK. Jodmont horse, she comes here, and I can see why they've supplemented her, but after this victory in the Prix Vermeil, which is the same course and distance, she battled hard here against Aventure, who will reoppose rivalry, but she was very tough in this race.
Oh, she really was. I loved her attitude in this race. I spoke to Rafe Beckett after the race and Ross O'Ryan. You can see here, Aventure has taken a clear lead, but Blue Stocking, who led from the outset, really stuck her head down and battled. I was worried for the Arc that it might be a bit of a tough race for both of them, but especially for Blue Stocking. But Rafe Beckett afterwards and Ross O'Ryan said she had kept a little bit. She did have a little bit left in reserve, and so they were watching the weather, watching her training after the Vermeil, and a bit of rain has come. The ground will be softish, which she will enjoy, and she's come out of the Vermeil well, so they've stumped up the supplementary fee. And yeah, another candidate that we can definitely throw in there, Ian, with a live chance.
And we want to throw in as well Marquise de Sévigné, a filly or mare who's won a lot of Group 1 races. She wasn't perhaps that impressive most recently, but I think everybody thinks she's going to win all the time in any case. And 5-year-old mares, sometimes they don't want to do everything that well.
Yeah, absolutely. André Fabre, 8-time winner of the race. This one's trained for Edouard Rothschild, the former president of France Gallo. And connections have always said she is a filly who's never going to win by a street. She just gives enough. She's a winner over a mile. She's a winner over 10 furlongs. And this has been a plan since she won the Ispahan against the Colts in May. And André Fabre has said in the past, a horse, even if they don't really stay a mile and a half, they can do it once with kind of the surprise effect. He finished third with a Miler Persian King a few years ago. So the idea is to throw her in over the mile and a half for the first time in the Arc, and they think that she can stay. The negative is she's got the wide outside draw.
Yes, right up on the outside. So those are the 16 runners. It is time to make our decision. You've got a few more hours than us. What are you going to go for?
Well, I have my doubts about the two French favourites, Sozy and Luc de Vega, so I'm going to go with the solidity, the reliability of Los Angeles for Aidan O'Brien.
I think it's possible the Japanese will do it with Shin Emperor, but I'm going to be predictably boring and go with the horse until quite recently was favourite, but Sozy, the way he won that Prix Niel from the master trainer, a horse who seems to run. In fact, every time he runs, he gets better. He will have to do so if he's to win the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, but I think it's quite possible. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you very much for watching. Join us then live, Paris-Longchamp on Sunday afternoon, the Qatar Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. A great weekend of racing with Group 1 races everywhere. I hope you find the big winner and plenty of others as well.